Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
Always ready to dive in.
Awesome. So today we're going to take a close look at the Toyota BZ4X.
Toyota's taking on the EV world, huh?
Yeah, and we got to check it out. We're looking at some marketing stuff. Looks like straight from Toyota's website.
Sounds good. This will be great for anyone thinking about going electric. A lot of folks curious about EVs these days.
Absolutely. Right off the bat, Toyota's calling this thing built different.
Hmm?
And they keep mentioning this e-TNGA platform.
Right.
Something about it being specifically made for electric vehicles.
Oh, this is interesting. You see, for the longest time, car companies were basically kind of just shoving batteries and motors into regular cars,
Like modified gas cars.
Exactly. But this e-TNGA platform, it's like they started from scratch, designed the whole thing with electric in mind.
So does that actually make a difference? Does it actually affect how the car drives or anything?
Big time. For one, the battery placement, they can put it lower in the car, which gives it a better center of gravity.
Okay, and why is that important?
Handling, my friend. Stability, too. The car is going to feel more planted, more responsive.
And I'm seeing something here about more cabin space.
Yep. Since they weren't working around a big old gas engine and all those components, they had more freedom to design a roomy interior.
Gotcha. So this e-TNGA thing, it's not just a marketing gimmick, it's a whole different approach.
Precisely. It shows Toyota's serious about EVs, not just dipping their toes.
Makes sense. Okay, let's talk power. Toyota's hyping up the BZ4X's electric motor.
Yeah. Electric motors, they've got some serious pep.
They mention instantaneous torque. Now,
Sure.
I gotta admit, torque isn't exactly my area of expertise.
No worries. Think of it like this. You need to merge onto the highway, right? In a gas car, you hit the gas, the engine revs up, gotta build power, then the transmission kicks in. Takes a sec.
Okay, I follow.
But with an electric motor, boom, max torque right away. The second you press the pedal, you're off. Like a rocket.
Oh, so that's why people say EVs feel so quick off the line.
You got it. It's that instant torque. Makes them a blast to drive.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Now range, that's the big one, right?
The million-dollar question for any EV.
Yeah. And I'm seeing two different numbers here, which is a little confusing.
Yeah. This trips people up all the time.
It says 400 to 615 kilometers. Then it says up to 252 miles for the front-wheel drive and up to 228 miles for all-wheel drive. So what gives? Which one is it?
Good question. It all boils down to different testing standards.
Oh, okay.
Different countries, different ways of measuring range. The lower numbers you saw, those are probably from the EPA tests they do in the US.
Then those tend to be
More realistic. They factor in things like real-world driving conditions, traffic, weather, all that. The higher numbers might be based on European tests, which can be a bit optimistic sometimes.
So realistically, what kind of range should someone expect from the BZ4X?
Well, it depends. How do you drive? City driving, lots of stop and go, you'll probably get closer to those EPA numbers.
Right.
Highway driving, maybe a bit less. Cold weather, battery performance takes a dip. And of course, lead-fert, range goes down.
Makes sense. So many factors to consider.
It's not as simple as just looking at a single number, unfortunately.
All right, one more thing about range before we move on. It says here that the BZ4X can charge in just half an hour. That seems crazy fast.
Yeah, it sounds impressive, right? But there's a catch. That half-hour charge time, that's almost certainly talking about DC fast charging.
Okay.
That's what you find at public charging stations. Powerful stuff. But most EV owners, they charge at home, right? And that usually uses a level 2 charger.
Which takes longer.
Way longer, like 6-8 hours maybe for a full charge. Think of DC fast charging like a quick pit stop on a road trip.
Gotcha.
And home charging, like filling up your tank overnight.
Perfect analogy. Okay, enough about range and charging. What about the tech inside this thing?
Oh, they definitely didn't skimp on the tech.
They're bragging about a rising touchscreen display. I mean, that sounds cool, but is it just a design thing?
It does look slick, no doubt, but it's also part of a bigger trend you're seeing in EVs. They're going for this minimalist, futuristic vibe.
I could see that.
Like stepping into a spaceship. All touchscreen, very few physical buttons.
Speaking of futuristic, what's this digital key capability all about?
Yeah.
Can you actually unlock and start the car with your phone?
Yep. Say goodbye to fumbling for your keys. It uses Bluetooth or near-field communication. Basically lets your phone act as the key.
Pretty convenient.
Super convenient. And think about it, you could easily share access with someone like family or friends.
That's handy. All right, let's move on to safety. Always a big deal, especially with all this new tech. They mentioned Toyota Safety Sense 3.0.
Right. Toyota's always been big on safety, and their safety sense system is top-notch. With this latest version, you're getting all the bells and whistles.
Like what kind of stuff?
Lane departure alert keeps you from drifting out of your lane. Adaptive cruise control adjusts your speed to the traffic flow automatically.
Sounds fancy.
Oh, and pre-collision system with pedestrian detection. That's a big one.
Definitely helps with peace of mind. Last but not least, they mentioned this regenerative braking with boost mode. What's that all about?
This is one of the cool things about EVs. Basically, when you take your foot off the gas or hit the brake, the electric motor flips, turns into a generator.
Okay, I'm trying to picture this.
It captures energy that normally gets lost as heat and sends it back to the battery, kind of like free energy.
So you're actually extending the range by braking.
Exactly. It does feel a bit different at first. You kind of slow down faster than you'd expect, but you get used to it.
So to wrap things up, it sounds like the BZ4X is a pretty serious contender in the EV world.
Definitely. Toyota's put a lot of thought into this one, and they're leveraging their reputation for, building solid cars.
What do you think, though, will it be enough to stand out in this crazy EV market?
That's the question, isn't it? There's a lot of competition out there, tons of great EVs.
True, true. So folks, what do you think? Does the BZ4X have what it takes?
Let us know. We'd love to hear your thoughts.
All right. All right, that's it for our deep dive today. Catch you next time.